Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to day 14 of our favorite guitar Riff-Masters of all time. That's right. All month long, we've been taking a look at our favorite guitar players who cranked out the riffs, those memorable riffs, those riffs that start out a song and oftentimes are repeated throughout the song. And when you really come to think of it, what do you really remember most about those particular tracks? That great guitar riff, that guitar lick, right? The thing that just stands out in your mind that you never forget. Sure, the choruses are generally pretty good too, right? Maybe the vocal harmonies are great as well. Maybe there's a great guitar solo in the song, right? Whatever. Maybe the rhythm is just awesome, but it's that riff that grabs you and never lets go. So today, as we take a look here, we're on day 15, almost in the middle part of the month. This is a particular, there are going to be a few episodes this month where I'm going to talk about a duo, right? Like two guitar players, because some of these great bands that have great riffs, it's, two players, right? In some cases of the two, you might have the one guy who's more of the rhythm guy, right? There's going to be a couple of those. Today is one of them. So while on the thumbnail you see the two of them, James Hetfield and Kirk Hammett from Metallica, we all know that Hetfield is the guy, right? He's the guy with the cannon of a right hand. He's the guy who generally is the riff guy in this band. But, because they both are up there, at least on stage, right, playing. And I want to give love to them both because they're, this is Metallica. They're both guitar players. They're both cranking out the riffs. But we all know that Hetfield is really the guy in this band. So, So this was really tough because for me, on Metallica's first 4 albums, there is a never-ending onslaught of memorable kick-ass riffs. And, I grew up loving Metallica in the 80s, and looking back, I knew I had to have Hetfield and Hammett, the two of them together on this list. And then it came down to, well, which 3 songs am I going to pick for my 3 favorite riffs from Metallica? Not that easy. I have changed my list over and over and over again over the last 24 hours. Finally, I said, you know what, I'm just going to stick with what I got. And I'm pretty happy with them, but there's lots of others. So I'm sure some of you watching are going to think, oh, but I love these 3 riffs, and that's totally cool, right? Because Hetfield's got a million of them, right? So first, I'm going to go to the first album, Kill 'Em All, for my first one again. And there's another album that's got probably 4 of them that I think are worthy of being here. Ultimately, I'm going to go with The Four Horsemen. That's right, off the first album. Almost went with Jump in the Fire, because I think that's terrific too. Really can go with anything on here. Seek and Destroy is killer as well. But I went with the Four Horsemen. That's just, to me, that's the essence of Metallica, especially early Metallica. That just kind of rapid fire machine gun riffing, but it's really chunky. It's kind of dirgy at the same time. To me, Metallica's like, especially early Metallica, it's kind of like 2 camps, right? You have the more dirgy, slower, almost doomy, menacing stuff, and then you got the rapid fire thrash attack, right? Which has roots in kind of like speed metal, new wave of British heavy metal, a little bit of punk as well. So there's both camps there. But I'm going to go with the Four Horsemen. I just think that that whole kind of rip in and repeats throughout the song. It's just so heavy. So yeah, the Four Horsemen, my first choice. Second choice, it really pained me to skip my favorite Metallica album of all time, which is Ride the Lightning, and there's some great riffs on there. If I Fire with Fire, Creeping Death, both of those I could have picked, wanted to pick. Ultimately, I went with the title track to Master of Puppets, which is, again, maybe not the most incredible riff or set of riffs out of any of the songs I'm going to talk about today, but man, it's just so heavy, and again, kind of like mid-pace for Metallica. I love the kind of little stop-start thing they're going. It's just really good and just so effective. And I think the riff carries the tone of the song, which is important, right? So, and basically Hetfield, especially in this era, basically playing Gibson Explorers, Gibson Flying Vs, right? Most of the time, it's generally what you saw him play back in the day. He's changed up guitars over the years, but it was mainly Explorers and Vs back then, for the most part. Big humbucking tone, right? So, Master of Puppets. And then I had to go to the And Justice for All album, because for me, I think Hetfield, as a riff guy, really delivered the goods on this album. You know, say what you want about this album, you can't hear the bass, and you know the production's kind of weird, and Lars's drums kind of sound a little strange. This album is a never-ending onslaught of riff-o-rama. And again, you have, you know, Blackened and Dyer's Eve are more the thrash songs, and then everything in between are more kind of dirgy, doomy type, big, huge, epic type things. I'm going to go with Harvester of Sorrow as my number 3 favorite riff. And it's so big and fat and tremendous and menacing and ultimately so Metallica. And I always love this album for these big kind of complex, riffy, dirgy songs, and that's kind of what Injustice for All is all about. And you guys know I like big, riffy, dirgy, doomy, slight type things, right? That's just I love that sort of thing. So yeah, so I'm okay with this album not being speed of the light fast, and this album does it for me when it comes to the riffs and stuff. So yeah, so those are my picks: Harvester of Sorrow, Master of Puppets, and the Four Horsemen. There's so many choices. Like I said, I could have gone in any different direction. I literally, this morning, as I was taking my shower, getting ready to come out and do this video, I'm like, oh, but man, I could pick Fight Fire with Fire. I could pick Creeping Death. Can I make a switch? And I said, nah, I'm not going to do it. Because there's so many great ones to choose from. There's no right or wrong answer, right? So yeah, those are my 3 picks. So if you are a fan of Metallica, let us know your 3 favorite riffs from Hetfield and Hammett, and also please put your pick for today and your 3 favorite riffs from that player, and we'll see you tomorrow morning for day 15 as we reach the halfway point in the month. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts, and please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below is the link to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, as well as our merch page where you can get all sorts of really cool Sea of Tranquility shirts and things, like this particular one here. And we'll see you. What do we got coming up? So, of course, we've got Friday morning at the Funhouse with Martin Popoff in just a little bit. And then we've got tonight. Stay tuned for a cool, lengthy rant from Chris Allo, myself, and Dave LaGreca from SiriusXM Busted Open Radio. We are going to be talking about this whole sordid, ridiculous Motley Crue versus Mick Mars saga, which everybody's talking about in the rock world. I wasn't even going to address it, but I started talking to those guys, and we said, let's just do a little rant on our take on this whole mess that's going on in the Motley Crue camp, this back and forth nonsense, whatever. We're going to have fun with it, right? That's what it's all about. I know there's probably a lot of people who watch the channel who really don't give a shit about Motley Crue. We do have some fans, so yeah. But I think it'll be fun just to kind of talk about what's all going on and just lay it all on the line. So that's coming up tonight, and of course, I've got one of the greatest rant guys of all time in Dave LaGreca. If you've never listened to Dave LaGreca on SiriusXM's Busted Open Radio show, it's a wrestling show. Dave is one of the best rant guys in the business, if not the best rant guy. So I had to invite Dave to that, and he also has some opinions about this whole mess with Motley Crue. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So that'll be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. And then this weekend, we've got Ranking the Albums on Sunday for the great prog band from California, Enchant. So that's coming up on Sunday. So lots happening here on the channel. And we'll see you soon for more stuff. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.